Thank you for having me here today, and I'm pleased to be here. I was telling Richie, because it's sevens, we're gonna do it for 7 minutes. I don't wanna bore everyone out, so I'll try and just breathe through an overview of our program. If you have any questions, you can always ask me or come and see me. You can have coffee, sit down, but you're gonna pay for it, right? But let's just get straight into it. Our goal towards LA 2028 after the Olympic in France is to win gold, and our theme is Vuvale, and Vuvale means family. And to me, I sat down before getting the job here, and I thought about what was the theme, because in 2016 we had the Velo Money, and it continued to always with the team Velo Money and Stone Riders, and I thought like we gotta have a theme for the boys, and I said Vuvale is important because we're trying to lead a legacy here, and legacy of getting medals in the Olympic and getting a gold color, and that's what we're trying to strive for. And to me, it's really important because Vuvale is where everything starts. Before you join the Fiji Rugby family, you have your own family. Then when you join the Fiji Rugby family, then you have the Fiji Rugby family. So that's our theme going on to 2028, is having Vuvale. And this is the Olympic legacy I've been talking about. You can see that we have 2 gold and a silver, and the legacy we wanted is to always have Fiji to win the gold, and that's a good legacy to always have Fiji up front and always at the top, and that's the goal that's driving a lot of the boys and driving me. And winning silver in Paris hasn't sat well with me, and I've always told the boys we have unfinished business, and we should go back and try and get back the legacy that belongs to us, and that is getting another gold in USA in 2028. Our goal, as you can see, is always having gold in 2028 and sustain Fiji as number 1. We want to be number 1 and always leave Fiji there, like I said, a legacy and the family, and that's what we're always playing for, is making sure that we're always playing for our family, and we always put our Fiji family on the map and having them at number 1, developing the next generation of champions, and the third one is inspiring Fiji and the rest of the world with our rugby identity. And that's something we want to keep as Fijians, and like I said, we'll always keep offloading. Some people say, why don't we explore another option? I was like, Fiji is unique, and that is our identity, where people love Fiji because of the way we play the game and the spirit we play the game in. And that's something I've always told the boys, what if it comes off? Sometimes the boys are down and they, coach, I should have kept that ball, and I said, what if it came off? Could have been a different story. And we've always gone with the saying, we'll live by the sword and we'll always die by the sword. And you can say we'll live by our skills and we'll always die by the skills we have. Our values, I know that Mick and other covered a lot of this, but this is some of the values that we have in the sevens, is integrity and commitment and family, trust and discipline. And a lot of this has contributed a lot to the way we perform. A lot of people, they think that, performance on the field is just, the boys didn't train hard, but it has to do a lot with some of these core issues off the field that we need to translate into our game. And reflecting after our first season, and one thing I saw is we weren't consistent with our cultures and values. Like the boys chose when to uphold the culture or when to uphold the value. And I said, it's gotta be an inbuilt thing in you, and you gotta live it every day to have it consistent. And that's one major thing that we're sitting down with the management and we discussed about it. And I said, we lose games just because we are not consistent enough with our culture. And I know most of the boys, they just leave the culture when we are around, and what we want and what we're trying to build is the boys living the culture where the coaches is around, manager is around, where they live the culture is part of them, and it's bone deep and built into each of the players that come through our Rugby Sevens family. The roadmap to 2024 and 2028, we finished our first year. It was a foundation phase, getting to know a lot of the players and building a lot of our depth. Then this season coming up, we want to grow that phase again and make sure we are expanding the depth. And we're working a lot with Nava and HPU and trying to get a lot of the youngsters involved early. And then 2027, you want to be a performance phase. When I say performance phase, is we want to be number one in the series, heading towards 2028, because we want to go into the Olympic as a number one, and that gives us a mental edge when you get into the Olympic or they're number one in the series, and they're coming into with the tag with a number one, into the Olympic, and then gives us a certain edge, a mental edge over our opponents. All of which I have said before is gotta mean nothing without stakeholders of Fiji Rugby. Players and coaches on the field, management and Fiji Rugby Union, guiding and the trust, government and institution of sports, sponsors and partners believing in our journey, which is really important, fans and Fiji pride, and then families of players. We can all plan, we can all have dreams, but we all know that professional rugby comes with support, and you as stakeholders are really important to our growth in sevens. Without you, we couldn't achieve most of the things that we want to achieve in our program. And that's why I said it's really important, and I like the idea of Mick having the picture of a tree up in here and all the roots, and to me, the tree represents Fiji Rugby and the roots represent stakeholders. Because for Fiji Rugby to stand, then we need to have stronger support from all the stakeholders that are involved with Fiji Rugby. Key focus area that we're working on to drive us through to our goal in 2028 is high performance and culture and discipline, and I'm thankful for Nava, our HPU manager. We've been sitting a lot, going over most of our high performance criteria that we need to get. And then we're doing a lot of talent pipeline and grassroots program. We're crossing with other programs. I'm thankful to Jacko with Ndrua allowing some of his players to come across to us, and I hope that relationship continues, and I think it's really important for Fiji Rugby as a whole, and I'm thankful to the HBU team with identification of a lot of youngsters that are coming through our HBU program. And watching the Dean's final last week, seeing a lot of potentials, and especially with next year's Youth Olympics that are coming up in Dakar, and mainly I was watching a lot of the under-17s and trying to find out a lot of the talents that I need for next year. And I work with the HPU for next year and try and identify, and then we're using Oceania this year. We're going to blood some youngsters straight into our Oceania which is going to happen in New Zealand. We're going to use a lot of the youngsters just to get them blooded into the system, and I know there's a lot of poaching happening now, and we can't stop that. And a lot of players will leave for financial stability, but there's something we want to work and want to align, and I'm thankful to the CEO, to Nada, trying to align everybody so everybody has the same goal and to achieve, and so rugby in Fiji and Fiji Rugby Union can flourish. And we have a family support system. Like I said, our goal is the family, and we're having a lot of our family time, and this week we're having a camp, but first time we're having families come over, your partners, and before we start our phase in September, so we're having all the partners, because I recognize that some of the boys, they come to train and they have problems at home, they don't give their 100% in the program, they're probably just 50 or 60%, and there's something we're doing, I think this Friday, all the families are coming together, we're sitting down, getting the families to know what we're doing, our plans, our goals, and letting them know that they are really an integral part in each of the boys' performance, and that's something we're trying to do. And lastly, mental toughness and resilience. We want to have players, Fiji players that are mentally tough, not only in the field. and you want them tough outside the field no matter what they face. I was sitting and talking with the management, and I was telling them, in the rugby field, we can handle anything. Fiji players, whatever comes their way, they can handle it. But it's different coming off the field. And you face a lot of mental challenges that we have problems with in Fiji rugby. And it's like, why is this happening? And that's something we want to build in the Fiji Sevens, is having players that are mentally tough, not only on the field, but off the field as well. And our progress so far, we just finished phase 1 of our DTEs. We had 2 months of DTEs where we have 2 days of DTEs where we did it on a Monday and a Wednesday, so it can allow our players to play on the weekend for Skipper Cup. And we're starting our next phase next week, September. We're doing 4 days of DTEs. We're getting players that we recognize that are coming in, and it's a new way that we're trying to go. As you can see, new training methods. We're having a lot of DTEs because we're trying to work within the budget that we allocated, so the funds that we need are moved to when we really need it. And that's something we're trying out with Willie and Ada, where the boys are going to come in at 7 in the morning, and we'll have breakfast together. Then we'll have gym at 10. Then we'll have rest and snacks. Then we'll have a core skill set, and we're going to break straight after lunch around 1 o'clock. And to me, it's really important because when the boys go to a professional environment, that's what you do. You go in the morning, meet up, do what you need to do, then you go back home. And to me, it's just preparing the boys for the future. And, Sevens, we can't keep them in Sevens for a long time. A lot of them will leave. And to me, I want to prepare the boys not only for Sevens, but for life after Sevens and after rugby. Young players stepping up in the series, like I said, with Jeko, getting Basialo and Nawai, and getting the youngsters squad bid, and we're trying to get them involved. Not only it's good for Fiji rugby, it's good for my program as well, where I get a lot of depth. As I said in LA that we didn't have the depth. I got 6 of my core members injured, and we didn't have the core to really step in. So that's why we're breeding a lot of new youngsters, because when we get to 2027 and 2028, we want to have 3 players in each position that are very competitive. Whoever our depth chart is drawn, and if someone is injured, who steps right in? And that's something we want, that for every position we have 3 players that are highly competitive when we get towards the Olympic year. And team culture is again really a crucial part for the Sevens. It's really important for us to make sure that the boys grow and learn what's needed in our culture. And that's something that I told the boys, that culture is really important, and if you have talent and you don't have values, then one thing can happen. Either you'll bring the team down or you bring yourself down. And that's something I'm very big on, is on culture, and it's something we're going to keep building towards 2028. Our challenges ahead, I put here player drain. I should have put player succession, because the players are going to just move on to bigger clubs, and that's something we're going to face. And injury management. Rugby, there's always going to be injury. You can't control injury, but what we can control is our squad depth, and making sure that when injuries happen, that I have players that can step in, and for what happened in LA not to happen again, and we can solve that. And financial limitation, we'll only work like our budget according to financial limitation. All our goals, you may have bigger goals, bigger dreams, but you got to work within the budget that you're given, and you stakeholders are key to that, and we're really thankful for that. Without you guys, we couldn't be performing and doing what we need. Nutrition of the players, the player welfare, all of this couldn't be done without the key help from stakeholders. And increasing competitiveness of other nations, and as you can see, the thirst and hunger for an Olympic medal is getting very competitive between each nations, and you can see the growth of the game with Spain, and a lot of the team in Sevens are getting really stronger, getting really smarter, and we're going to find ways that are going to get us better than we are at, or making sure that we're working with what we have and our skill set, working with a lot of the HBU staff, making sure that all our players are getting the skill sets that we need. One team, one nation, one dream. The journey of LA 2028 is not just the teams. It belongs to Fiji, and together as one Vuvale, we will lift the nation again. To me, the journey of the Fiji 17 men's and women's is the journey of Fiji. And I'll leave us, before I finish, with a thought that I've been thinking about it a whole lot. Like, when Olympic year comes, everybody jumps in. Like, why can't we just jump in when Olympic is 3 years away, 2 years away? Because we've shown that we can do it as a nation. We've done it 3 times. We've got medal at the Olympics, and we can be stronger as a nation if we prepare well in advance. And instead of waiting for the Olympic year on drive towards goal or goal in LA 2028, why don't we drive for goal in LA 2028 right now? And with you stakeholders, and need a lot of help from you guys, and especially on our goals towards the series this year. And that's something we want to approach. As I said, that we are approaching everything like an Olympic year, and that's something I forgot to mention before I sit down, that every year we're targeting one championship as our gold medal tournament. Say, for instance, next year is Hong Kong, and then we're targeting that as our Olympic tournament, because Olympic is a one-off tournament, and we have 3 championships next year. So every year as it comes, we'll select which tournament will be our gold medal tournament, and we'll prepare like we're preparing for the Olympic in that tournament.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kolinisau.